Welcome back to a fresh episode of Power Tips. Today we are going to look at Power Apps and the features included in the 2025 Release Wave 1, which start rolling out this month. I wanted to take a look at the section that's on Build Modern Apps. So this is basically helping makers build responsive apps using modern controls and with offline capabilities. That's what's promised to us when we get to that section. And there's 4 features in here. So the first one is about selecting columns downloaded on mobile devices. Now, why does this matter? Because previously you would turn on everything and it would all download onto your device. And when somebody in the field brings up their Dynamics or their Power App, my goodness, does that take a long time. So this allows you to customize your offline profile to select specific columns to include on that. Huge update. I think this one is going to make a very big difference if you have users who are remote and use offline. That's not coming till the end of this release wave. We'll see that in August. A note that none of these updates have public preview. They're just going straight to GA. Wow. The second update here is use Entra off for external tenants in Power Apps. This only matters if you are managing apps that need to interact with resources in different tenants. You used to have to do a gateway. Now you don't. You can just have direct access to SQL database. Yay. This one's in April, sometime this month, not yet. Third one is the ability to use SQL decimal type in Power Apps. So currently, the old way, floating point values are the default data type for all internal values. There have been problems reported with that by customers, so they're switching, so it will be a decimal number and hopefully create less headaches to people that manage those things. And finally, re-edit data sources with stored procedures. So this is a way that you can simplify your development process. All of your stored procedures can be managed under a single data source name. This one is also coming in April. So these are the 4 exciting apps promised to us to help build modern apps. What do you guys think about these?
I think the first one, I like them all. I think the first one, all you administrators out there, start thinking about how you're going to teach people how to do that, right? So some of you manage large organizations with lots of people in the field. You're probably not going to want to work individually with them, so you're going to want some kind of a resource. So as more information comes out, start to think about creating your one-pagers or your tutorials or whatever it is that you're going to teach your people how to do.
Yeah, but this is configured by the administrator, right? We have one administrator that configures the offline profile. It's not, we don't have users that can choose what they download, right?
Oh, so I took it as individual users had the ability to pick what they needed.
Oh.
But that may be absolutely incorrect. So, fair enough. Good question.
Still, I think it's really good for I think that'll be really interesting for the administrators to figure out, especially when, so many people put so much data on one table, and then that's the table that needs to be downloaded, and we can just configure it, and it will minimize the conflicts and all those things when it's syncing back. So I think that'll be really interesting.
Good call out. So I took on the Copilot for apps and makers. So I have 2 slides, and then there's a bunch of updated ones that I just touched on lightly. So first and foremost, the visualize data easily with Copilot. No screenshots or anything on this. I call out that you can simply select a button. I'm leery of any time we hear that, or thanks to some of my colleagues here where I work, be very leery when people say, oh, you just have to do this. The word just is always a trick word to me, because nothing's ever as simple as they say it's going to be. And so you can simply select a button, immediately toss up a red flag. Sounds amazing. What's it actually going to be like? So I'm excited to play around with it. I haven't played with this at all, other than the new sort of, you'll see it on the next slide, but there's a new kind of UI change that comes with the application that brings Copilot in and enabling natural language. And so if it's in there, that's good, but I haven't played with this explicit feature. So ability to drill into data. This also felt a little bit like just a rebrand and a refresh on some of the stuff we already do today and have been able to do for many, many years in just general basic Dataverse CRM. So also I don't think I've ever seen the italicized note at the bottom, which was at the bottom of this one. This feature is released in preview and will be improved with each weekly release. And that made me raise my eyebrow. Maybe that's been there before. Maybe I don't read closely enough, but I've never seen that note before. So that was interesting. That a weekly release stood out to me. So GA in January, sorry, preview in January. So it's already out there and available to be played with, but not GA until October. And then this one, I have had multiple people say, how do I turn this off? I don't like this. I don't like the change. And I think it's change-averse folks, myself included at times, that don't like what it does to the ribbon and the UI, and things they're looking for just aren't there the same way. And that's a change. But I've had a few people say, I legit just don't like it. Like, it doesn't seem to do what I want it to do very well. I think that just comes with time and change, but it's been around for a while. You can see preview in November. So the ability to just throw out a simple command in natural language and it will grab the records that associate with that. Great in theory. I think it would work well. I haven't had too much trouble when I've played around with it, but if, like I said, I've had multiple people turn it off. Now, is that because it doesn't work well, or is that because they just don't like change? 50-50, could be either way, but will be GA this month. So it's coming whether we like it or not.
I actually really do like this feature, but I think it will involve user training because the correct formatted prompt is essential for this to work. So I think the people that
Amen.
are saying, turn this off, I mean, you can see the suggestions. It's basically translating what you would put in an advanced find query in natural language. So it's not really natural language. It's
Agreed.
like,
Yeah.
type out what you would want advanced find to show you.
Yeah, and what I haven't done is dig into what necessarily why those issues come up and what are they using, because like all things AI, it's all about that prompt. So makes sense. I agree with you. And then the last slide are just the other items. So if you look in the release planner, there's a bunch of ones that are tagged as updated, so something's changed on them. Most of these I think have been around for a while. And so I just want to throw these in here. So if you're not looking at the release planner, which you absolutely should be on a regular basis, but if you're not, these are some of the items that were flagged as updated. So something's changed, and their preview and GA dates are coming. Some cool stuff in here, for sure. So worth a read in more detail on each of them. So those are Copilot for makers. Nope, for apps and makers. Apparently talking's hard.
All right, thanks for that. And I'm sure all those features at the end we'll probably talk about more when we get to the Copilot announcements. But I was in charge of the announcements for enabling enterprise scale. So, and I of course forgot to put the GA dates on here, but I'll call those out. So first of all, we have enhanced testing for Power Apps, right? So this is just going to make it easier for us to test our Canvas Power App, well, all of our Power Apps, so that we can build more robust applications. So that includes enhanced testing for Canvas apps, new testing for model-driven apps that wasn't available before, and support within the test engine for using YAML and PowerFX. I haven't used any of these capabilities yet. Have either of you tried these out? I know they're being enhanced. Nope.
Have not, no.
Yeah, we gotta get in there and try them out, especially on our Canvas apps. So this says public preview in March, but it's not checked off. And then GA is set for May. So something to be on the lookout for. I know that Microsoft is doing a lot of investment in ensuring that we can make Canvas apps that are like fully enterprise ready, and have all the support that you need so that they can go through your full release pipeline and be fully automated tested and all that fun stuff. So that's part of this feature. And the other one I wanted to talk about was managing your source code for Canvas apps. So the idea here is we want to be able to view the underlying code to better understand the app functionality and manage in source control. So just helping us, again, to align with robust application lifecycle management practices and streamline the development process, improve quality, and support the app's growth. So there are a few capabilities that it lists off in here, which is storing your files in the code repository, automate the generation of a Canvas app, improving the generative Canvas app modules, refactoring Canvas apps without using the designer, and integrate natively with Git for Power Platform. So it's going to be able to allow us, we're going to be able to export the app as a different file type so that we can manage that as the source code files and then work with that kind of more from a development perspective, and just be able to work within Power Apps Studios or a code editor, right? So definitely some stuff in here for our professional developers who are trying to use Canvas Power Apps so that they'll be able to improve and do better with all of that. So this is not available yet. It says public preview is in May of this year and general availability out in June. So something to be on the lookout for, and definitely when you're talking to your customers about the enterprise availability of things like Canvas Power Apps, this is some feature to keep in mind. Any thoughts on those features, guys?
I'm the furthest thing from a developer, but this seems really powerful because in videos and things I've seen, I'm often struck by where the code sits. So you have to, you open your Canvas app and then you've got your panel of source data and whatnot on the left. And inside of there at the very top, you can select all the different components, and inside of each seems to be where all the code goes and the line. And that to me just seems a nightmare to keep track of. So if this is going to somehow bundle all of that stuff up that's on all of those areas, what's on the start of the app, the open of the app, the transition of the app, and you can see all of it in one place, I feel like developers will probably heavily celebrate this.
Yeah. Plus it fits the normal way that they work in other applications. So I think it's nice to just bring it all in the same spot.
Well, I think that's all that we have for you guys. So thanks everyone for joining us. Please let us know in the comments down below what you'd like to hear next and which of these features you're excited about. And we'll see you on the next Power Tips. Thanks.